Hey, you guys. Matthew, Shikikilebra, how are you guys? So nice to see you this morning. It's nice when I can kind of give you guys a little heads up, isn't it? And be like, whoa, I'm about to go live, my friends. And it gives you guys some chance to actually arrive. Good morning, Crystal Child. How are you? So today, what's come through in our live share? Hi, Mike. How are you? I gotta say, you guys, I love our emoji enthusiasm here. Yeah, I'm quite an emoji fan myself, and so I feel like we all resonate because we love emojis, basically. It's like a little bit of sparkle in a pretty dark and dismal reality sometimes, right? So, tried to book a flight. I've got a family wedding happening in May, and I tried to book a flight and it didn't work. So, I gotta tell you guys, this is the first time in my life, and I've been into astrology and stuff like on and off over the years, but this is the first time I've really directly felt the dominant kind of belief system effects of Mercury retrograde. Like, I normally, like, I might talk about it, but not necessarily have the full-on, like, experience. And this cycle, I've really felt that, because the retrogrades are, like, going over stuff, so it's like all of the shame spiral, victimhood, you're never gonna win kind of thing, or you're never gonna get a break, or you're never like all the suffering patterns of all of life have actually come to the fore on this super beautiful full moon equinox energy. And yet, yeah, there's still a review going on, and like technological hiccups as well. I'm pretty sure that's a Mercury retrograde thing, i.e. like bookings not going through. And what was another one? Anyway, something to do with otherwise you get emoji mania. I res with that, actually. It's sort of like the filter vibrashe. It's not, but it is. As far as like, there's these weird definite polarities, is like all this technological stuff, and like how bad it is, and how distracted we are, and blah 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 blah. And actually, it's like, but it's fun. Like, Matthew, I feel you as far as it's like what I'm feeling is like the densities are lifting. So I'm actually just feeling generally like less heavy. But if I'm honest, like kind of still in the heavies. So like yeah, and polarity. Like polarity and paradox and these binary expressions I find incredibly useful right now, because it's literally like I'm almost like doing that kind of polarity aspect in my reality, where I'm literally facing shadow aspects in my 3D reality. But as I'm facing them, and like these are kind of, if I were, if when they shift, it's like miraculous, it's instantaneous. But like sitting in the residue of the past projection, looking at it, feeling the fear of it, but as I'm looking at it, standing it down and being like, yeah, I know you. I don't believe you anymore. I don't like believe you to be true. I know that you're not the truth of who I am. And then angling in with all these other projections of like the truth of my being. So I'm getting here like a rewrite as well. Crystal. Yeah, right? Hey! Brazenar, you noticed my hair. I did. I got, well, one, it's just in this like, it's like a half ponytail. You guys, don't get me started on my hair. You know this is a thing in my familia. We are women who absolutely, I mean, it's not like a special female thing that we love our hair, but like yeah, get if my mom's like talking about something I'm a bit bored about, I'll literally be like, Mom, so what's going on with your hair? And she'll be like, hair? Yeah. So, and like she gets hella serious. Good morning, Julie. How are you? Um, so yeah. Pardon, pardon me, you guys. Pardon me. Um, I wanted to go back to the polarity ultimately, and then the love. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thanks, Chic Equilibre. So it's like a rewrite happening, and all of this stuff, all of this transformation stuff, how I feel into it perpetual is like it's just delayering. It's like we're just perpetually delayering, i.e., we're choosing, do I go back into the heavier layer or do I go back into a lighter feeling layer? And like we have the option within us. We have that childlike, playful, and imagination. Imagination, I feel, is coming through so powerful. So for some of you who are moving through your like awakening experience with relative like awareness and groundedness and like a sense of like this is definitely the way to go, and this is so relevant, right? It's like first it's like getting used to being able to hold space, which to be honest, most empath, we do that naturally. Most empath have lived a life where we've naturally taken responsibility for our circumstances and our emotions and other people's emotions, and um yeah, and we've been reflective. So there's a natural tendency for an empath, one, to be introvert, but that's not always the case, but to, to be reflective and to take on the responsibility. So more often is the case for those of us resonating on a channel like this, is that we have to be able to discern, oh, that's not my BS junk DNA image. So I'm going to distance, right? Because those default people-pleasing patterns are pretty rife, and they're pretty like, i.e. for me years ago, it was like I saw myself saying it, and as I was saying it, I'm like, what the F am I saying that for? Like, I'm literally just saying that to make that person feel good, but in that mix, I'm gossiping, I'm like doing a number of things that I don't align with, and I don't even believe that. So it's like, it's that weird angle of like the compromise that our protective, i.e. people-pleasing tendencies can actually get ourselves into once we start to awaken, take responsibility for the truth of our knowing, right? So yes. Okay. So separate from the unconscious collective. Yeah. And that's a piece, right? For some of us having chats about that. Like, if we recognize that like other people's perceptions are a mile off, just yeah, love and light, but like walk away, because we will ultimately be having quite different conversations, right? Because that is the dominant perspective, i.e. chic équilibre is separate. I'm picking apart your thing. I know it's not what you're saying, but separation consciousness, i.e. the conflicted state from within the self, is ultimately what perpetuates the illusion of fear, the war cycles, the warmongering. And unfortunately, the way I feel into it, see it, and based on factual research, literally the majority of our systematic integrity is built on that false perception of separation. So we've gone about our decades here pioneering a world of progress, which is essentially imbalanced, which you can imagine the longer we go, we're going, like we're totally falling off kilter. And the reason we resonate, guys, is because we feel it. It's not obvious on the 3D level, but the empaths we're here to pioneer new avenues, new ways, right? i.e. the title of today's share, holding space. We're just getting started, right? Right? But we're just getting started, and we're our energy, and this is why it's going because it's getting closer to toppling. We don't, and it's going to topple, and that's okay, but we might as well take that leap, make that jump, and move in the new direction, right? Pardon me, you guys. Oh, guys, I've got quite a tickle. So I'll probably wrap it up. But I want to highlight that because a good friend of mine actually the beautiful diva who touches up my hair. Reflective, i.e., this phase of us still being in the residue, is that some of those dark mental patterns might come back, eh? You guys, I got a really bad tickle, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take care of myself. But I'm so juiced up. I'm so excited to keep sharing. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if I clear this out, I'll come back. But there's a dry tickly cough, so I'm not enjoying sharing as much as I would normally do. So thank you guys. Thank you. I know, right? It's like self-compassion and kindness is so huge right now. And especially because we're facing the old shit. Love you, love you, love you guys. Have an awesome day. Peace out.